Ever heard of brands that seem to just pop up out of nowhere and suddenly, boom, they're like the next big thing?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's not magic, it's growth hacking.
You don't need like a massive budget or anything. It's all about being smart and making the most of what you've got. And that's something, Caribbean businesses, they're good at that.
We're talking about data-driven experiments, thinking outside the box, and always keeping the customer like front and center.
The customer is king.
Yeah. So we've got this super insightful article here called Growth Hacking, a Caribbean business's secret weapon. It really digs into how this approach is like taking root in the Caribbean. And trust me, the real-world examples they give, they will totally make you rethink everything you thought you knew about business growth. Like, I was blown away.
What's really cool is that this isn't just for like business people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's for whether you're like an entrepreneur or a seasoned marketer or even just someone who likes to, understand how the world works. Even if you don't have like Cristiano Ronaldo's marketing budget, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit.
Okay.
So the article lays out 3 core pillars of growth hacking: experimentation, data-driven decisions, and customer centricity.
Think of experimentation, like just constantly testing the waters, You're trying different approaches, you're tweaking things, you're seeing what really connects with your audience. And then ultimately you're finding those most effective strategies. Like A/B testing different website layouts for, let's say, a Caribbean resort.
Oh, yeah.
And seeing which one actually leads to more bookings, You're testing entire marketing strategies and campaigns.
But that testing, it doesn't happen in a vacuum, right?
Right.
Like, what about the data-driven decision?
Growth hackers, they're obsessed with data. They use it to track every single move they make, measuring those results, making choices based on what the data is telling them. It's like a scientist running experiments, always analyzing and refining their approach.
Yeah. So, like, for example, a food delivery service in Barbados wouldn't just randomly decide where to, offer discounts. They would look at data on, which neighborhoods are ordering the most at certain times.
Right.
And then use that information to tailor promotions and optimize, delivery routes.
Right, exactly. It's strategic.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it, this works no matter what your size or budget is. Even a small business with limited resources, they can use data to, punch above their weight.
That's so cool. Okay, so what about that third pillar, customer centricity?
It's about truly understanding your customers' needs and desires and making them the driving force behind every decision you make. It's about putting yourself in their shoes and asking, what problems are they facing? What solutions are they looking for? What makes them tick? What do they care about?
Yeah, so instead of a Caribbean tourism board just blasting out generic ads about beautiful beaches,
right,
they might use data from customer surveys and realize that travelers are actually craving authentic cultural experiences. And then they could tailor their marketing to showcase things like local festivals or artisan markets, maybe culinary tours.
Yeah.
It's about meeting those specific desires. Now, let's talk about some of the challenges that Caribbean businesses are facing. Limited budgets, navigating different cultural nuances, smaller markets.
But here's where things get interesting. The article actually argues that these limitations, they might actually make growth hacking an even more appealing solution for Caribbean businesses.
Wait, really? Explain that.
Well, think about it. Growth hacking is all about being resourceful, adaptable, finding creative ways to get big results with limited resources. And who's better at that than Caribbean entrepreneurs?
That's true.
They've always had to be scrappy and innovative to overcome obstacles.
Yeah, they don't always have the luxury of huge marketing teams or deep pockets. So they've learned to be super efficient and resourceful.
Exactly. So instead of just throwing money at a problem, they're finding clever workarounds and hacks to get things done. It's like a natural fit.
The article goes on to highlight several specific growth hacking tactics that are especially relevant in the Caribbean context. I'm interested to hear more about those.
Okay, let's start with social media.
Right.
Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they offer incredible tools for reaching new customers.
Yeah.
But it's not just about posting pretty pictures.
Right.
It's about understanding which platform your target audience really uses the most, and then crafting a strategy that speaks directly to them.
So a Caribbean fashion brand might realize that their target demographic is super active on Instagram, but barely uses Facebook.
Right.
So they would put all their effort into creating really visually stunning, engaging content for Instagram, and maybe even experiment with like those Instagram shopping features.
Yeah, they'd be playing to their strengths.
Yes.
And speaking of engaging content, the article also talks about content marketing.
Mm-hmm.
This is about creating content that people actually want to see, read, listen to,
Yeah.
and share, which can act like, word of mouth marketing on steroids. It could be anything from blog posts and videos to infographics, maybe even interactive quizzes. The key is to create content that really resonates with your audience.
Yeah.
And adds value to their lives.
Okay. They also mention email marketing as like a key tactic.
Yeah.
I know some people think email is like outdated,
Right.
but I think it still has a lot of power, especially when it's done right.
Oh, I totally agree. Building an email list lets you nurture those relationships with your audience, and you can offer personalized experiences like think exclusive content, early access to sales,
Yeah.
or even just like a friendly hello to, stay top of mind. It's about building those genuine connections.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget about like partnerships and collaborations.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's something Caribbean businesses are especially good at.
Right.
Leveraging each other's strengths and networks to reach a wider audience. And then, of course, there's A/B testing, which we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
This is all about using data to constantly experiment, refine your approach.
Right. You're always tweaking, optimizing based on what the data is telling you. It's like having a feedback loop built into your marketing strategy. You're constantly learning and improving.
The article dives into some really fascinating examples of like growth hacking in action in the Caribbean.
Oh, cool.
And I think these stories really bring the whole concept to life and show how it's already making a difference.
You've got Caribbean tourism boards using influencer marketing to reach these massive audiences with authentic and engaging content. It's
Right.
like having millions of people sharing their love for the Caribbean with the world,
Yeah.
all thanks to strategic partnerships and a deep understanding of how social media works.
As you explore growth hacking and all the cool stuff it can do, remember to stay focused on your purpose, your values, your vision.
Well said. Don't chase just the numbers. Chase the impact you want to have on the world.
Growth hacking is a powerful way to get results, but it's best when it helps a mission that's bigger than just making money.
It's about building businesses that are successful, but also sustainable, ethical, and make a positive impact. It's about creating something you're proud of, something that makes the world better.